Please be seated. Kia ora tātou katoa. It is with great pleasure that I extend a warm welcome to you all this morning as we celebrate the recent success of a fine group of young men, our King's High School junior volleyball team, South Island champions. It's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Recently, under the tutelage and expertise of Mr. Andy Campbell and Mr. Turner, as well as one of our fine products also to my right as well, and his name will be mentioned out shortly, our junior volleyball team competed against many of the best high schools in the South Island and became the winners and the best team in the South Island. We are incredibly proud of what you have achieved, gentlemen, and our hope is that this will be the stepping stone for continued success as you make your way through the senior school. You have enhanced our school-wide goal and ambition of being the best boys' school in the South Island in academics, art, culture, music and sport. So well done and thank you. I wish to also thank our parents and families that have joined us today and your ongoing support. We know that you are very proud of your young men, and deservedly so. Before I hand it over to Mr. Turner, who's the team manager, I just wish to thank Mr. Andy Campbell for his ongoing support and commitment to our school, your school. As a proud old boy, your involvement has allowed these young men to achieve something very special, something they will always remember. So thank you, Andy. Mr. Turner, I'm going to ask you to come forward, please.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Won't be too long, gentlemen. Right. November 22, finals day at the Junior South Island Volleyball Champs in Nelson. The King's High School Junior A team has just lost the semi-final and the playoff for third and fourth, and the Otago-based team coaches are deep in conversation. How can we compete with the Tasman and Christchurch schools when we don't have the local competition at a high enough level? A loose agreement was made to support the development of all junior boys players in the city, with the philosophy being, we're all good when we are all good. 45 years ago, I was plucked out of a local intermediate to join the junior volleyball training program over at King's High School. Little did I know that I was entering into the middle of a legacy period in King's volleyball. Kings had won the Junior South Island title every year since 1974 and would go on to win this title 9 times in a row. We had a bit of a gap between wins and won again in 94 and 95. This was the last time that our fine school was to appear on this trophy until into the boys of 2023. Blissfully unaware of our history in this event, we set a goal to win a South Island title in 2023. The tournament was to be held at home in Dunedin at the Edgar Centre. This was both a bonus and a worry, as the boys would be staying at home during the tournament, leaving the boys to run the King's volleyball tournament protocols. We'll continue to keep this system close to our chests. Suffice to say, ideas have been borrowed from Mr. Dave Ross in hockey, Mrs. Vicky Jobson in rugby and water polo, and Mr. Sean Cassidy and Mr. Dan Connie in touch. The hard work began in term 1 of 23 as we attempted to identify our player base. We had already been working with most of our Year 10 talent, and progress was made on finding the gems amongst the large number of Year 9 players. While term 1 is predominantly about the senior A and B teams, it is also about building the database of players and preparing for our winter junior program. Following an extensive trial program, we eventually were able to select Junior A Eagles and Junior B Bulls volleyball teams to enter the South Island Champs. The Eagles would be coached by the incredible Andy Campbell and assisted by the sensational senior pupil Charlie Jackson and managed by myself, while the Bulls would be coached by old boy staff member Paul Tupai, assisted by senior boy Tom Severn and managed by staff member Jesse Dryden. 3 weeks previous, the Eagles had won the Otago Champs, beating Otago boys in a semi and going on to beat Trinity Catholic College in 3 very tight sets. This was to prove instrumental to our success in the upcoming South Island tournament. The Bulls are a young team selected to gain experience for the following years, and they were competitive throughout, consistently winning first sets before going down in 3. These boys will be the core of next year's title run. The Eagles began day 1 against Christchurch 5th seeds Christ College. Both teams played well, but we missed too many serves in each set, 7 in the first and 8 in the second, and we finished on the wrong side of the ledger, losing 22-25 and 23-25 respectively. Not for the first time. We thought that our run for the title was over, with a very good Shirley team to come later in the day. Our second game was against a very tidy defensive team in Naden College out of Nelson. The Nelson teams have a reputation for being very good without the ball, defending extremely well and keeping lots of ball up. With a tidier serving performance, is a coach ever happy with serve percentages under 100%? And growing confidence, we slid over the line for our first win in straight sets. This set up a must-win game late on Tuesday against our Christchurch sister school, Shirley Boys High School. And what was to become the story of the tournament, we started poorly, dropped a set, got behind in the second before we found our fight, taking out the second set, and then winning a titanic tussle in the third to qualify second in our pool and secure a top 8 finish, sending Shirley Boys into the bottom half of the draw. At times during the second and third set, I again felt that our tilt at the title was over. Winning a tournament always requires a little bit of luck, and our first piece occurred before the Shirley game, when their exceptional setter rolled his ankle against Christ College, putting him out of the game against us. We were deeply disappointed to see this injury, as we never wish ill on others. Wednesday saw 2 new pools form for the second tier round robin. We played Nelson College A first up and caught them napping early, playing okay to take them out in 2 sets. This was to prove crucial later in the day. The second game was against Christchurch Powerhouse and defending champions Riccarton High. They are never a tall team, but they are well drilled and they can jump extremely high. 3 tight sets later, and we just missed the win. This set up another must-win game at the end of the day. We played Garran College out of Tasman and did enough to win in 2 sets. With Nelson taking out another set off Riccarton, we qualified top of our pool and moved through to the top 4 in semi-finals on Thursday morning. As is usual with volleyball, we travelled the country only to play our perennial opposition, and this was another tournament where we bumped into our Otago Boys High School, this time in a semi-final. We usually beat them until we see them in a tournament, and then they somehow manage to win when it counts. Losing the first set with too many missed serves, I again thought our run was over, but the boys never gave up, and we fought tooth and claw to win the epic third set battle to make the final. Meanwhile, on the other side of the draw, Christ College were doing everyone a favour by knocking out Riccarton, our second piece of good luck, setting up an epic repeat of our first match, now in the final, against Christ College. What followed was too incredible to ever make a movie about. No one who was not there would ever believe that this was a true story. We began well, serving accurately and running fast, jumping high and hitting hard, earning us a first set win, 25-21. Christ came out in the second set with new resolve, and we proceeded to make far too many errors, giving Christ the win, 25-22. This set up another third set battle, with the first team to 15 winning the gold, and the other team doomed to settling for silver. Momentum is a big thing in sport, and most especially in volleyball. Christ College had the momentum, and it was up to us to wrestle this away. Unfortunately, this isn't how we started, and we swapped sides 8-3 down. Following a series of many points runs, we found ourselves behind 13-7. A comeback seemed impossible, and we were all ready to congratulate the opposition and settle for an honourable silver medal. Except the boys were not. They never stopped believing in the team. A win from here would give the title. A win from here would be one of the greatest comebacks in sporting history. I don't say that lightly, to be fair. 2 missed serves or 2 small errors would give the title to Christ's. The boys showed how much fight there is in the King's Lion, and we got it back to 13-0 before the opposition won another point. Down 14-13, we trusted in the game plan and found an outside kill to make the score 14-0. Coach Andy Campbell subbed Tom Strickson out of the backcourt, bringing on George Farseeger to serve. Joyce was ice cold on the serve, and 2 points later we were champions. King's High School was now the latest name on the trophy. Tournament wins don't happen by accident, and the village that is King's High School all contributed to this success. Last year's Junior A coach Leon Horsley provided an exceptional base to build from, and long-serving old boy Chase E.T. added some polish. Student Charlie Jackson never missed a practice, and his help and advice was instrumental in the self-belief amongst the team. I kept the food and recovery going, and Supercoach, and again, I don't say that lightly, Andy Campbell does not get the accolades he deserves, and King's Volleyball would not be where we are today without him, and that is undoubted, and he provided a spectacular environment within which the boys thrived. We had 2 boys make the tournament team, Troy Werehiko and team captain Lafa Tafiga. Lafa Tafiga was selected as tournament MVP. However, volleyball was a team game, and every member of the team stood up during the championship. King's High School, Junior South Island Champions, 2023. Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Turner, well said. Mr. Dixon, you can come forward. Medals, yeah. So as Mr Dixon, Director of Sport, comes forward to hand out medals, I'm going to read the names of each of the boys if they can come forward and receive theirs from Mr Dixon. And we thank Mr Dixon for his ongoing great work, and as he comes to his time here at King's High School, the end of that. I'm going to ask for Ben Calder to come forward, please. George Farsinger. Vincent Laban. Coolio Makasini. Jack Morrison. Siaki Ramsey. Tom Strickland. And Lafa Tofiga not only receives his team medal, but also medals for the tournament team, as Mr Turner mentioned, as well as MVP for the tournament. So Lafa, well done. Troy Wadahiko, also his medal for team, as well as tournament team. Well done to you, Troy, as well. And Harlan Whitfield. Coaches, if we can go Charlie Jackson for a start. Well done, Charlie. Mr Andy Campbell. And Mr Turner. Well done to you all.
Just to be nice to say a couple of things. I was very, very fortunate to be there. But the game that, obviously the final speaks for itself, and well spoken, mate. That was a fantastic account because it was an incredible comeback. But the game that stood out for me the most was that semi-final. Just the eye on being attacking, being brave, no matter what the circumstance. And as a coach, I know at times that can be really difficult to install, and you fine gentlemen you've done that, and you got these boys through, and you boys played phenomenally, never backed down, and got the reward that you deserve. It's been said a number of times, and I want to make mention of Gaz and Charlie and all the work that you've done, but the gentleman, Andy Campbell, he is the super coach. I'm incredibly proud and grateful to have you on board at Kings, mate. I know how difficult it is to get results and how hard you work, and mate, you deserve that so much, that result. You deserved it massively, so massive congratulations to you as well. At the conclusion of this, when Mr Smith lets us go, if I could just invite our parents back out into the foyer, please, with the boys and our coaches and management to have some kai and some refreshments after. Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn, well said. And just in conclusion of the formal part of the Assembly today, just a word. You know, success occurs when you are prepared to put in hard work, not taking shortcuts, putting in the 1%ers when no one is watching. I actually asked a young man at King's to provide me a quote for today that would hopefully sort of set a bit of a scene here. And he said to me, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard. And I think there's a lot of truth in that, and that actually came from arguably one of our greatest, and that's Dylan Pledger. So I hopefully those words, gentlemen, will resonate with you, and certainly the young men on stage. I would now like to ask our junior school to stand as our parents and caregivers, guests, as well as our fantastic volleyball team make their way with Mr Dixon to the foyer. So gentlemen, please stand.